Hey guys, so this is the deal. Today I'm going to talk about Paulie G. I'm going to tell you a story, okay? Now, when I met Paulie G was very tight with John Polio. John Polio was a good kid, came to Bath Avenue from around Bay 50 and the Marlboro projects over there. Polio didn't know anything about this life, this Bath Avenue life, treachery, killing, mafia, the Italian shit. John Polio didn't know nothing about this stuff. He really didn't, John Polio was just a good kid, loved to smoke pot, taught us about pot. Of course, liked to make money, but he knew nothing about this Bath Avenue shit. I mean, how mobbed up Bath Avenue was, the five families, things like that. We grew up with this stuff. Little Georgie Adamo, his father was a wise guy. Social clubs, in and out of social clubs as we're kids. So he was very tight with Paulie Galino. So when John Polio gets murdered, Paulie Galino gets a tattoo on his leg in memory of John Polio. Now, when Paulie G did this, that made Georgie Conti, like, he looked at Paulie G like, what the fuck did you get a memory piece of John Polio for? You know what I'm saying? Because Georgie Conti was the guy that was involved in killing John Polio. For whatever reason, he killed them. I'm saying, him and Frankie Mariconda. They picked him up. They shot him in the head. Now, let's remember John Polio was 19 years old at this time. Didn't have no brothers. His father was an old timer. And, after they killed John Polio, a year later, John Polio's mother passes away, Lee, which I knew very well. These people are like family members to me. So, Paulie G gets a memory piece of John Polio. And now, Paulie G at this time, Paulie G was a regular kid. He wasn't no killer at this time or nothing. He used to love playing sports. He's from Bay 23rd. He used to hang out on Bay 23rd. He was a good kid at this time. And, Tommy Karate's in and out of the neighborhood, so Padones were very tight with karate. Tommy always came to Bay 23rd, in and out of Tiamo, in and out of 200 Park, always going to see Billy Bright and stuff like that. So Paulie G is getting a lot of confidence. He's hearing Tommy Karate is a major killer, chops people up, and having a guy like Tommy Karate on his side would be, it'll work for him. It'll benefit him, because you need a wise guy in the neighborhood, because you're always going to run into a problem. So Paulie G starts making a name for himself. He shoots this one, he shoots another one. He's involved in a murder. He's making Chestnut into a monster. The thing is, when they killed Paulie G, they didn't just kill Paulie G for pushing Sparrow. That's 100%, okay? Paulie G gave us the order to kill Neil Nastro and the uncle. So that's one of the reasons why Paulie G was murdered. Then Paulie G has this thing with Joe Benantis, okay? Joe Benantis has a fist fight in the Brown Derby with Philly Dogs, again being a wise guy. At this time, Paulie G was supposed to be there with us. Now, Paulie G really didn't like to go out too much. That night, I think it was me, Dean Benicillo, Fabrizio might have been there, I'm not sure. And Joe Benantis basically was going to get killed, okay? Because he raised his hands to Philly Dogs. I was a wise guy. Now, two wise guys cannot fist fight with each other. That's taboo. If something like that happens, you know, it's something where, you know, there's going to be a major sit down between bosses of families. So after he fights with Philly Dogs, Paulie G is pressing Joe Benantis to, you know, go after Philly Dogs, telling Joe Benantis, listen, Joe, come on, you know what, we'll go after Philly Dogs, fuck Philly Dogs. And Joe Benantis telling Paulie, you don't understand, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So Paulie G always pushed an issue, you know. He didn't do things so right, you know. Everything with Paulie G was violence. Instead of thinking and using your head, Paulie G right away just wanted to kill people. I mean, let's just kill him, this, that, you know. And that's a bad way to live that life when you're in the street or you're in the mob, you know. You can't just go around killing people. And this is what Paulie G did. I'm saying he had the beef with the Bay Parkway kids. He shot the kid OJ. You know, first of all, look, when you're on record with a wise guy or you're on record with anybody in the street, you have to touch base with your guy and let him know what you're gonna do. If you're gonna run up on somebody, you're gonna shoot somebody, you have to touch base with your guy. This way, if there is a sit down and there is a problem, you know what, you told your guy. So that's very important. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people sneak. They'll give you a sneak attack and they'll run up on you and they'll shoot you and kill you. And then after they kill you, their guy will make believe that it wasn't them that killed so-and-so. I'm saying there's a lot of lies in the mob. The mob, a lot of politics in the mob. It's like, if you're friendly with the boss, like for example, I was very close with Mikey DeSantis. You know, when I went away, I became very close with him. His brother Frankie married my Aunt Carol. So, for example, if I was in that life today, okay, of course Mike DeSantis would have put me up. I would have got straightened out. And I would have been very close with Mikey. So when I first came home, I went to go see Bubsy. I passed by his club. He said, Jimmy, how's Mikey? How's Manny Madonna? So when you're with these guys on the top, you're very important. Now, if you're just with a wise guy, you're really not that important, you know, for the fact of the rules are made for the little guys, not for the big guys. You know, the big guys break the rules all day long, you know. So Paulie G was not just killed because he pushed Anthony Sparrow. He was killed because of a lot of things that he did. He used to argue with Joe Benantis. He was there when they killed OJ, him and Chestnut. They shot the other kid, Little Dino, in the belly. And Paulie G was causing havoc throughout the neighborhood. You know, there was a lot of people beefing on him. And he was uncontrollable. You couldn't control him no more. You know, and even with us sometimes with us, I would try to talk to Paulie. You know, I would argue with him, and then I wouldn't come around for maybe 2-3 days. And then I would pass by in my vet, and he would flag me down. He would tell me, where you been? And then he would buy me a couple Feli outfits to make up with me and to be friendly with me. But Paulie G had this thing where, you know, look, he would have been a great wise guy, 100%. But he did a lot of things wrong. He really did. And killing Vincent Bickelman, after he killed Vincent Bickelman, he walked in Sparrow's club and he told Sparrow, I want to get straightened out for this. So there's a lot of things, you know, he did that was wrong. And when you do something for these guys, what you do is you just do it. Okay? You're told what to do. You take care of what you have to do. And you never speak about it again. And you never ever tell your guy, yeah, I want to get made for this. Never. When it's your time to get made, they'll call you in. They'll tell you, listen, dress nice. You know, meet us over here. And you'll get straightened out. But talking about that life, I want to tell everybody, it's a shitty life. There's nothing nice about it. Think about becoming a wise guy. Okay, it's in my neighborhood, it's every kid's fantasy to become a wise guy. But now you're a wise guy, okay? So now you're starting your own crew. You got to, you know, touch base with your captain, whatever you do. Once a month, you have to hand your captain money. If you're earning money, you have to, you know, push it up to the boss. It goes to the captain. Eventually, the captain's going to give a couple of dollars to the boss. But it's a shitty life. It really is. It's like an acting life. You're acting, okay? You're not really being you. You know, you have these rules you have to go by. You have to live a certain way where people, you know, look up to you. And everyone knows who you are in the neighborhoods, that's for sure, because word of mouth gets around. But I wanted to just touch base on that Paulie G wasn't just killed for pushing Anthony Sparrow. Paulie G was killed for numerous reasons. He was uncontrollable. He was in the way of Joe Benantis. He was getting $10,000 a week off a little Joey. That was another reason to kill Paulie G. You kill Paulie G. Now the $10,000 goes to Joe Benantis, Anthony Sparrow. You know, so, you know, that mafia life is very vicious. You can't trust nobody. And who comes in and kills Paulie? Joey Calco, Tommy Reynolds. And look, it elevated them. And when a wise guy asks you to kill somebody, you're not going to say no. So I understand, I get it. But I wanted to share this video with you guys. I hope you like my new glasses, Dolce & Gabbana. But everyone, look, there's going to be a big storm tonight. I wish you all a great weekend. I'm going to be pushing out some new videos. I want to talk about this other guy in the Gambino family. His name is Angelo Fifi. I'm going to tell you the story of me and Angelo Fifi when I was a kid. I was 14 years old. Angelo Fifi was 19 years old. And me and my friend Keith, we were doing graffiti. And there's a story about Angelo Fifi. I'm going to tell you that story. He's a wise guy now. So there's many things that go on in the neighborhood that always goes back to the guys in the neighborhood, because that's why it's called sit-downs. In my neighborhood, everything was a sit-down. If you have a beef with somebody, you sit down. You have a problem, you sit down. There's money on the table, you sit down. Everything's a sit-down. Lately, I've been hearing that the Lucchese's and the Bananos are beefing, whether it's true or not. But in that life, all these families don't like each other. The Genovese family don't like the Gambinos. The Gambinos don't like the Lucchese's. The Lucchese's don't like the Gambinos. The Colombos don't like nobody. The Bananos don't like nobody. So everyone don't like each other. And then when you're in a family, You know, you got to be loyal to that family. So there's a lot of politics in this mob life. But look, I hope you enjoyed this video. Everyone have a good weekend. I just want to show my face. I wanted to let everybody know, alive and well. But where am I? Doing what I have to do, taking care of my business, taking care of my kids. But listen, I love you all. Thank you for reaching out to me, sending me emails. I wanted to clear the air with Paulie G. You know, Paulie G was not killed for just one reason. Paulie G was killed for multiple reasons. But we'll see what the future holds. Okay, guys? I love you all. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.